This is LeetCode 598 range addition. So in this question, we're given a matrix of m times n size, and we're given an array of operations. And in here, we're supposed to return the count of the maximum integers. So if you have this final matrix, we're finding the max integer, which here would be 2, and then we're finding how many of those there are. So it'd be 4, so you'd return 4. So basically, you want to keep track of what is the max and how many there are. And initially, you might think maybe do a brute force method for each operation. However, that gets quite confusing and time consuming as well. But essentially, each of these operations outline a box with the dimension of the first value and the second value. So this is 2, 2. That would be 2 over, 2 down in a box. And within that box, you're going to add 1 to all the values in that box. And this problem doesn't necessarily specify it well, but these integers, the indexes, are always starting at the top left. So essentially, if you have a grid of 4 zeros, a 4 by 4 grid, and the operation is 3, 3, it's always going to start from the top left and then go over 3 and down 3, and that's going to be the size of the box. And these will all be 1, 1, 1. They're all incremented. So let's say this is a 4 by 3 grid with ops equaling 3, 1. That would mean that you go over 3, and then you go down 1, and that would be the box. Essentially, you're always starting top left aligned, so left aligned and top aligned. And that can give you a pattern because you're just trying to keep track of the maximum, and essentially the maximum is whichever value is within all of the operations, or whatever the minimum is of the x-axis operations and the minimum of the y operations. And from there you just multiply y times x, and that gives you the answer of the size. And with the size, you just count those, and that gives you the answer. So essentially, if let's do like this one, the 3 by 3 for the first problem is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. The ops are 2, 2, so we'd go here, which is going to be, these will all be 1. Then 3, 3 is going to do that. So these will all be 1. These will all be 2, like this drawing here. Where basically, you don't even need to keep track of the numbers. If you just keep track of the minimum x coordinates, which 2 is the minimum for each of these, you just multiply 2 times 2 and you get 4, which is the answer. So to code for this, it's quite simple. You're basically going to start with a minimum y, and that's going to equal, just to start, we'll go 0, 0, and then a min, well, we'll make that x, and then a min y, which equals ops. So the y is the right value, the x is the left value. But from here, we just do a for loop. And all we have to keep track of is the minimum value. So we say if the current operations left is less than the min x, which is the other left, we'll just say min x equals ops. And vice versa for the y's. And then from there, at the end, we just return min x times min y. One other thing is the base case, which is this right here. If the operations are empty, you'd basically be given an empty grid of m times n size, like example 1, you start out here, which is just going to be m times n. that's the answer, because all of them are the max value of 0. 0 is the max value in that matrix. So here we just say if ops.length so if the ops is 0, if the ops.length is 0, we just return the size of the whole thing. And this should give us a really fast answer. So there you go.